And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Dock Tales. Tonight's guest is Mr. Stephen Fultz, but you may know him as HazLife, or more affectionately, Haz. Welcome to the show, Haz.
Hey, what's going on, Tom, Jody? How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, doing pretty well.
I just want to say thank you guys for formally inviting me up here. I know me and Brian did crash the party on one of the Dock Tales events when there was some mix up with DMV. We were out fishing and we came and crashed the party. But now it's the official having HazLife up here as a guest, man. I appreciate you.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I was going to bring that up. This is your formal appearance, because you were on before. So
yeah,
that's great that you remembered.
Definitely. Yeah, it was a great time. We had fun for sure.
Excellent. Yeah, we had a great time. All right. Before we get started, Jody, you want to call out some chat? Looks like we got 30 people already.
I'm still loading. Give me just a second.
I can get a jump on it.
I got 36 people.
Okay, I jumped to 34. Wow, we got a lot of chat going on. Let's see. Mike Sampson, Carmel Muncie, Chris Everett, Dale Hayslip, Paul Boyd, Brian B. Everybody's saying hello. Danny Stone, David Smith, Angler of the Ville, Wabash Nate. Catfishing with Cause, welcome. Wyatt Man's in the house. Welcome, everybody. Aileen, welcome to my kitchen. Welcome. Catfish Regulators, mount up. Art from One Tons in the house. Annette Morgan, Dan Thompson. All right, Telly's in the house. They're out at Mendota right now. They were camping. They were making a pizza earlier.
No, they're at Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah, they're.
That's right. That's right. Tennessee. My mistake. Chucky Morgan's in the house. Annette Morgan, Bugman, Bobcat, Rod Knockers. I think that's everybody, unless my phone jumped. Ernie the Hog Snatcher.
Did
Don't
you
want to
say
leave Ernie out.
Nate?
I'm sorry, you were broken.
Did you get Wabash Nate?
Wabash Nate, yes. Yep.
Okay.
All right. We'll try to call out anybody else that comes in afterwards. We're up to 42 people already. That's great.
Awesome. Hey, Bob, I saw that comment too. I saw that comment. Has who? Yeah. I'm keeping my eyes a close eye on Bob and Daryl. I'm keeping a close eye on them jokers.
There's Melissa. She's come in.
Oh, hey, Melissa, welcome. Just since you mentioned Bob, Bob, could you tell us, have you reached your watch hours? Bob went over the magic number, and he was a couple 100 hours short. Last I heard, did you make your number?
Oh man, we got to get Bob there. That's not bad though. A couple hundred. It's not bad. I know.
No, I think it was only 200.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all.
Couple, one live, two lives. Boom, you'll be there. You will be.
Okay, hopefully he'll answer.
I think he told me today is 190 something. I think I heard him say that online.
I've been giving him some hours at night. Although I set it to run. There's Matt. I set it to run all night long, and I woke up, and my screen was frozen on my TV, and it only had done 3 videos before it locked up, and it was locked up for 6 hours.
Wow.
I got to load them again. I said we have terrible reception.
Yeah, Bob, I'll run your night. Everybody pick a Bob playlist and run a Bobcat playlist and run it on your computer or phone or whatever you can.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we'll go over, we have a list of what we have in the description tonight. Let's go over that real quick. Give a few more people a chance to come in before we get started. Obviously, we have Haz's channel. I would be surprised if nobody in here doesn't already have Haz, but if you don't, please subscribe. Some of the products that Haz uses, Catfish from Catfish Clothing. They're in the description tonight, and has a code for them, has 20 for 20% off. Also, Catch the Fever, Big Cat Fever rods, and Slime Line. If you use that, catchthefever.com. They have has 10 for 10% off on that. Has also uses Monster rod holders from the bank. They're in there. Nocturnal Nation hooks. I didn't see a website for them specifically other than a Facebook site. So I put the Facebook site.
Yeah, the Facebook page and Tackle Bandit. You can get them on tacklebandit.com.
Yeah, I did see the Tackle Bandit. And also something that I noticed from your feed last night, you didn't mention Santee Drifters.
Yes, Santee Drifters. Yep, Jimmy from Santee Drifters. I think has 15 is the code.
Yeah, HazLife 15 is what you had for that one for 15%.
That's
so I added them. Also have Jody's page as always, my co-host, and the link for tomorrow night's Flathead Challenge is also listed for tonight. It's all mine. Food we deliver to the dock. She's a big part of the show. She does a lot of behind the scenes work for us. We appreciate that. And she keeps up with the links in the chat for us as well. And since we mentioned Bobcat is also on the list. Stickers, t-shirts, graphic design. This cat does it all, and he fishes too. Bumpin' Bob Britt of Bobcat Outdoors. We have his link to his YouTube page and his Horizon Tees graphics business, which makes some pretty awesome stickers, if I do say so myself. We have Uncle Lou, as always, Uncle Lou's Tackle from his Facebook page, and Brad Caudle's Tidal Weights and Sinkers.
Nice cut.
Shout out to Uncle Lou. That's my guy.
There you go. And we also have, Michelle, if you could drop the link. I forgot to drop it in. Gypsy Habanero's Facebook page. We're going to talk about that here pretty soon. There's Daryl. Welcome. And Cockeyed Catfish. Matt.
Daryl. I got my eye on you, Daryl.
A minute there, I thought John Parker was in the house.
You had a few more come in. Carmel Muncie, Bill Hayflip, Brad Cadell, Mr. Gadget, and Danny Stone Outdoors.
Okay, excellent. Welcome, everybody. Yep, up to 46. That's great. All right, so let's get started. First question. What is the meaning of HazLife?
The meaning of HazLife, when I was about, I'll say 13, 14 years old, I always had a love for music. And I think I was around 13, 14 years old in high school. I started making music, started rapping and making music with my friends and such. And that's when I came up with the rap name, Hazmat, for hazardous materials. So growing up, everybody called me Haz for short. That name stuck, all throughout high school up until adulthood. Friends, everybody, they still call me Haz to this day. Most people don't call me Steve, around, where I live at, around my way. Everybody calls me by Haz. So it kind of stuck. And when I wanted to start a YouTube channel, it's just everybody calls me Haz. So it's just HazLife, and we just ran with it. And that's what we did. And here we are, almost 3 years in to the YouTube journey. It's been a heck of a ride. It's definitely been a fun ride for sure.
But I think there's a little bit more to it, as far as your positive outlook.
Yes.
Was that part of?
Absolutely. That's part of, just everyday life. I've always, been that optimistic, put a smile on, make everybody have fun, have a good time. That's not just me on, the YouTube. That's me in general. I'm the one who invites people over. Let's have a good time, have a cookout. Everybody come to my house and let's have fun, and no drama. We don't do the drama.
Right.
And yeah, that's it. We run it, living the HazLife is what we call it. Living it's all positive vibes, all good energy.
Right.
Yep.
Well, that's great. I mean, you do your show, everything I've ever watched of yours, and the dealings I've had with you in public at CatCon. You exude confidence and a positive outlook on everything. And it's hard, even if you're in a bad mood, when you turn on one of your lives, it's hard to stay in a bad mood for very long.
And that's what I've gotten so much positive feedback, and that stuff motivates me, more than anything, is the comments and the feedback that I get from people, how I motivate them, inspire them, get them out of the funk, get them to go out there fishing, just change their whole outlook on life around, like, just being able to touch people in that, that aspect, that motivates me more than anything. So I definitely enjoy that.
You're doing a great job on that. Hey, I want to say quick hellos to Max Fishing, Uncle Josh, and Susquehanna Stan. Sorry if I've missed anybody else, but those three popped up while we were talking.
Fish in the Mid-South come in.
Okay, welcome, Mid-South. All right. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I come from a big family. Have a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, step brothers, so we come from a big household, and growing up, I grew up no father. My father wasn't around, so I just grew up single mom. She raised me and my younger brother and my younger sister. And that's where I learned all my hard work from, all my hard work, all my dedication. My mom never complained. She just went out there. She went to work. She took care of the household. We did what we were supposed to do in school, and that was that. And, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. What mama says, you do, So I definitely shout out to Mama Haz. She definitely raised me right. And definitely, she's my inspiration behind, anything and everything that I do. She definitely. And then, of course, I have a big family myself, a father of 7 children, ranging from, 13 down to 5 months old, but, I'm always loved kids, growing up, playing with kids, loving kids. And when I was able to have my own and to be a dad for them, that father figure that I never had, get to bring joy in the world into my own kids. I just, I love that. I love being able to bring joy into the world, to my children. So that kind of inspired me to really go in hard on, social media and doing a whole life change from, my career path and everything. So that way I can be more family oriented and be able to spend more time, with them. Because the career path I was on, it's definitely not easy to spend time with the family. It's pretty much your job is your job, and no ifs, ands, or buts. You got to work a lot of hours working in corrections field. And if the shift is short, you're getting drafted and you're working a whole nother 8-hour shift. You ain't got no choice.
Yeah. I know all about that. I miss more holidays than I care to count, when I was working.
That's how it is. I miss so many holidays, so many birthdays, so much. Yeah. I feel like 8 years of my life was a blur, so I was like, let's do something about this. And I'll
tell you just a little about me. I worked 30 years in DC, and I had off exactly 2 Thanksgivings in 30 years.
Wow.
So it's just the way that things always worked out. So Thanksgiving to me was always on a Saturday. When I get on my days off.
Yeah,
that's when we celebrated it.
Yeah. And that's how it was. My mom registered nurse for 23 years. So she didn't, have her schedule she didn't always have holidays off either. I didn't have. So it was just whenever we can get up and do it together, that's when we did it. But she just resigned from her job of 23 years last week. And she's moving on to another career path in nursing, where she's going to be working in the office now, a lot more laid back, not the emergency room chaos and all that stuff. So,
right. That's great. So I've seen Bex has joined the group. Lance is in the house, and so is Freddie. Welcome, everybody.
Got a few more. Yeah. Chad's in here, fills the water, catfish regulators, and off the hook.
Excellent. And congrats to Chad. He's caught some nice fish at Mendota, and he just went over 500, I believe. I believe within the last week and a half, he crested 500 for the second time.
for the second
So,
time.
yeah. Not too many people can say that.
Yeah.
I see Woody from Trophy Seekers is in here.
Hey, Woody, good to see you. We have our first question. Uncle Josh wants to know, what is your current career?
Now I am a supervisor of the for building services. So I have a lot more, wiggle room and able to do a lot more and go fishing and spend time with the family. So yeah, this job, I don't got to be there all the time. I have pretty sweet at my job. I have pretty sweet now. So I'm enjoying it.
Going back to your previous career field, there's a video that I saw a long time ago.
Yeah.
Of you being tased. What was that like?
Oh man. So one of the things when I joined corrections, I wanted to be on the emergency response team. That's like the goon squad. You go in, if there's a problem, you're the one to handle it. But you had to have 2 years experience. So, I waited my 2 years, and as soon as I had my 2 years experience under my belt, I applied and had to go through the panel and the application process and all that stuff, and then go through Hell Week, which was gruesome 40 hours of training, 8 hours a day. It was very militant, very physical, very physically demanding. I mean, I was eating ibuprofen and taking and taking baths every night with bath salts, trying to recuperate the muscles.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. But after you graduate and you become a member of the emergency response team, you have to get certified in the taser. So you didn't have no choice, and there was 6 in our class that had to go through it, and I volunteered to be the first one. I was like, man, I'm getting this out the way right now. I'm not about to see 5 other people get tasered and then me go last. I was like, no, I'm going. So I volunteered to go first, and they do the countdown and boop, shot me in the back, and man, I locked up. I couldn't do nothing. I was just screaming.
I can't imagine that. But I understand, you have to know what it feels like, if you're going to deploy it, especially in a hectic situation.
Facts.
We dealt with that with the, when I came on back in the 80s, it was, the tear gas and all that because of all the demonstrations they were having in D.C. at the time. And hold on a second. Let me swipe that. All right. It's all mine. That was for you. The phone was ringing. There's Mike Irvin. Cockeyed Catfish. All right. So next, let's talk about Gypsy Habanero.
Oh yeah, that is the wife's passion is cooking. She's always had a passion for cooking. Every time we would go over to her house, everybody knew like she was gonna chef up a bomb meal, from high school up until now. Everybody knew her as, she can cook, she can cook her butt off. So she's been wanting to, start up a business and, open up a restaurant and all that stuff. And, everything is progression. You have to start somewhere. So we started Gypsy Habanero company up together and selling plates out of our house. We do it bi-weekly. Right now we're doing it bi-weekly. We used to do it every single Friday, but once she got down the pregnancy line, towards the end of her pregnancy, we had to slow it down. So now we do it every other Saturday. And we sell plates. We have menu, full menu from Gypsy Habanero chicken, ribs, Rasta pasta. It's a lot of Caribbean and African, flavored dishes. A lot of spices, but yeah, it's delicious. They love it. We already got we just put the menu out today and we already got 30 orders put in for this Saturday. So it's going to be a busy week for us because, the prepping and all that, preparing all stuff starts, today and tomorrow, to get ready for Saturday. But yes, a food truck is definitely down the line. Definitely something that we want to definitely get into for sure.
Definitely. Have a rod rack on the front of it?
Absolutely. It'll be a food truck. It's definitely gonna have to have a tow hitch because we're just gonna tow the boat, jump into the food truck, go to the catfish shows, and we can do fish the tournament, and she could just be cooking it, and then we have dinner ready for us at the end.
Well, I did. When I was checking it out, I saw the pictures. Man, that food looks absolutely wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
especially
delicious.
since you mentioned the Rasta pasta. That was the one that really caught my eye too.
Yeah, that Rasta pasta. That's the number one, biggest seller. Everybody wants it. Doesn't matter when, they always want it. That seafood Rasta pasta, shrimp Rasta pasta, the chicken. It's like it's jerk, jerk seasoning flavor.
Yeah, right.
It's delicious though. It's delicious.
Now,
if you guys are coming to the meet and greet, some of you will be able to taste the food.
Yeah, you beat me to that. That was what was coming out of my mouth. I was going to say, now there's rumor that may be available in the near future.
Yes. So at the meet and greet, we're bringing the chicken. That was scratch this off the list. We're going to be bringing, seasoning up and grilling all the chicken. So, and frying the fish too as well. So you're going to get the fried fish was a big hit at the last meet and greet. It went fast. Everybody wanted some fish. So yeah, it's
what kind of fish is it?
It's whiting.
Whiting, okay. Yeah, that's delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious. It is delicious fish. It's not anything caught out of the Potomac. No, we not serving up none of that fish.
That's what I was wondering. that's not bluefish you caught last night, I hope. The blue cats.
Yeah, people always ask, do you eat the fish? Do you keep it? Nah, I'll throw them all back. I don't want a single one of them. I'm good. I am good.
Well, those signs on the bank there about not eating fish was back in the 80s. I think it said 2 a month from the river for the catfish around the tidal basin. I don't know what it probably said less than that.
No, it says 4 servings a month.
Oh, okay.
Catfish. Yeah.
Well, maybe the water's getting better.
Yeah, they have been. They started that Clean Act in 1972 to clean up the water, but you can only do but so much because there's so much runoff and so much chemicals that we use and from cleaning supplies and all that stuff that runs off in there and pollutes the water.
Right.
So
but they really did do a great job at cleaning up the Potomac in and of itself. And the testament to that is the fact that it is a well sought after bass fishery, and bass could not survive in dirty water. Yeah, and the fact that they're catching fish in the Anacostia, which was twice as bad as the Potomac, would tell you something. And I see you guys fishing over there a lot, and I'm surprised that you're doing as well as you were compared to what it looked like when I was there. Yeah,
it's definitely cleaned up. I mean, people eat the fish out of there on a regular basis, and
right.
Nothing's wrong with them, but I'm good. I'd rather buy my fish from the store or go to the bay. That's what I keep. If I'm gonna go keep some fish, I'm just gonna go to the bay. Yeah, catch a bunch of channel cats and white perch and stuff. And
oh, sure, yeah. Well, that's me. If I caught a catfish here, I'd just as soon drop it back in the water and go to the supermarket and buy it filleted up.
Exactly.
Because they're your pets. Tom's probably got them all named.
Yeah, I number them. 321. Hey, I've seen some more names coming in. Elgato's in the house. Gene Tillman and Sean from Catfish Heroes. Welcome.
You've got Angler of the Ville, Drew Channel, and Want to Be Outdoors also.
Okay, excellent. All right, we're up to 49. All right, so tell us. I hear that you're a Marvel movie fan.
Yes, I love the Marvel movies. Now, I wasn't, big, comic book nerd back in the day, reading all the comic books and stuff, but I love watching the movies. And I kind of fell out of, all the side, quest movies, so I was getting caught up on that stuff. Which one was it? I can't even remember the name of it. The Eternals. I was watching that one. I never, I think that came out like a couple years ago. So Eternals, I watched. I know Venom isn't Marvel, but I did watch the second one of the Venom and watching Black Widow over the weekend. That was good. I did like Black Widow. Then I just started going back and rerun and watching like the Captain Americas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the binge, just on the Marvel binge. And my
But,
son likes it too. Like that's because my 2-year-old normally we're just watching cartoon movies with him and stuff, and I turned on the Marvel movies. I think it was Doctor Strange was the first one that we watching. He was actually into it. He was watching it and everything. So I was like, he definitely loves Spider-Man too. The new Spider-Man just came out. So I was sitting back watching with my son.
Buck, I'm reading a question here. I think there's a question here. Hold on. Yes, Buck is jumping the gun on us. Buck wants to. Little about Haz's fame. Was talking to a couple at the lake yesterday. I said about an online tourney Saturday in which they used hot dogs to catch cats. The lady said, "I saw that. You mean Haz's tourney?" So the Glizzy Masters.
The Glizzy Masters. The Glizzy Masters is going viral.
So how'd that go?
The Glizzy Masters was a great turnout. It was I didn't know how good or how successful it was going to be this run around. I know that the weather played a big factor, so we had several anglers back out, which I totally understand. So I was like, let me see, what Bex and the others want to do. If the majority say, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and do it, then we'll do it, because it's hard to find another date to down the line to reschedule that everybody can fish. So majority of people said they'll do it, and I was like, all right, let's go ahead and run it. And man, Ernie was out there in the mud, stomping, playing around, falling, rolling over. You had Mac fishing, dressed up in the Glizzy costume. Of course, no real loss, and Bex over there, doing their thing. Curtis, he definitely struggled. He caught some good, nice fish in the beginning, but that with all the rain brings in all that debris and all that river slog that got caught up on his line and stuff. That's part of fishing. Once you see that river slog, you ain't catching any fish after that. The fish ain't biting. You got to move or try to find another spot or something. But it was a great turnout. Everybody loved it. I got all good positive feedback because I only did one tournament last year, and that was the Glizzy Masters.
Right.
And then everything else was me fishing in like the Do You Has What It Takes and stuff like that. But I was like, we're gonna bring it back again, and it was a great turnout. People are already talking about going and fishing in it again next year. So I just like and keeping it like once a year just brings and builds up that excitement, for next year. So
but I still have that image of Bex in the costume from last year.
I know. And Bex had her costume, but it was too wet. She wanted to stay dry. Snake River was supposed to participate. He bought a costume, was ready to dress up in it too. He was disappointed that he couldn't participate, but it was a good turnout. It was a good turnout, and Ernie was out there lighting it up from the beginning to end, and he took home first place. He dethroned the champs.
Wow,
no real loss, and Bex and Steven, but it was great. It was great for sure.
Well, I have another question here for you. Freddie wants to know, how much does Haz love the bait shop? Asking for a friend.
Man, that's my guys right there, man. We give each other a hard time, but we definitely have a special bond, with the bait shop for sure. Man.
Yeah, everybody knows it's all in good fun.
Always, anything we do, man. If I'm joking with you, it's because I got mad love and respect for you. And we have that, we can joke back and forth. It's never a diss, it's always in good fun.
I just man wants to know, do you have a twin?
So the second day of, I believe it was it was the first day, I think, of CatCon. Curtis was walking around with a hoodie and a HazLife hat on, and everybody thought he was me, and they were asking for his autograph and stuff when he was walking around.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, that was funny right there.
I remember that. It is a red and black hoodie.
Two stands in the house?
What's up, two stands? They were out on the water earlier today. I guess it's probably back in the house now.
Nice.
That reminds me of when I went to Taco Bell and I was watching you on my phone. And the guy who checked me out, this is my own county, by the way. We only got one town in the county. And he says, I watch him. And I said, who? And he said, HazLife. HazLife. I said, really? And he said, yeah. And I said, you should watch me. And he's like, who are you? I got dissed in my own county. And he didn't even ask who it was.
Wow. That's when you got to have them stickers. You got to have them stickers in your pocket.
Hand a sticker out.
But he knew Haz.
Wow.
That's funny right there.
I got a question.
Shoot.
We all know you're an angler and you do catch great fish. And you're out there hitting it all the time. I also consider you an entertainer, though. What about your music side?
My music side, like I said, my music was my passion. You know, I love making music. And I'm looking forward to making more music, you know, for you guys, which I have to sit and get some time and do one of these days to get out another single. But I definitely will. But yeah, like, you know, my personality has always been big. You know, I've always been, you know, this energetic person. And that's where the live streaming has definitely, you know, helped, you know, showing my personality on screen and on camera. But yeah, my music is definitely, you know, my passion for sure. But, you know, it's like I got older, you know, the life that I used to live and the people I used to hang around, things I used to do just didn't matter anymore, you know. Now it's, you know, my context and my lyrics changed and everything. So I was like, why don't I just you know, rap in my HazLife persona and make, you know, fishing and, you know, good, you know, vibe music from my channel and music that everybody can use, because you know how YouTube is. You can't use anything, you know, you put it up there, it's copyrighted, they're gonna mute the video, they're gonna do something. So that way, you know, you can use, anybody can use a song and they can have something to play on their intro, you know, on the B-roll cuts and all that stuff. So
what are the two songs you put out for fishing?
So far it's Gone Fishing and Takedown. You know, Gone Fishing is like an upbeat summertime, summer vibe, summer anthem, and you know, it's fun. It's great. That's why I'm about to bring back another type of upbeat one. Takedown was like the winter blues. You know, I was fishing from the bank, you know, and it was like December. You know, we're sitting there 4 or 5 hours just waiting for that one big fish to come along. So I was like, man, we just waiting on a takedown. That's what we said. So that's what inspired, you know, the Takedown song.
Was that when John Parker was up in DC?
We were definitely waiting for takedown. Well, we did have takedowns, but every time John went to go, you know, grab the rod, the fish would get off the hook. But when Dana or the pastor did, you know, they caught their fish. Yeah. So John had like 3 or 4 chances that time. Oh, but man, shout out to John and Dana. John is a hoot, man. He is. Yeah,
we've been trying to get him here, but I don't. You know, the fishing is starting to pick up. I didn't want to have him come here and not catch anything. If we weren't catching them, you know, it's. I didn't want to make him come all this way just for that. So we're gonna hope to. And if you, I don't know, maybe you saw, maybe you didn't. They had a live today showing off their new camper that they bought in the campground where he likes to fish. So they're going to be remodeling it a little bit, and he's going to get to fish a lot more.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that he had a live, but I didn't have a chance to watch it. I'm definitely going to have to go back and check it out. I saw they bought it on Facebook. I saw they posted a message that they had that they had one.
I got another question about the songs. I've seen them on Spotify, because I've definitely got Takedown on Spotify, but can you buy them off iTunes or something like that if somebody wanted to download them?
Yeah, it's you can stream it on, you know, Apple Music, or you can, you know, buy it on iTunes and put it on I don't know. Do people still have iPods? And is that like ancient now? I don't know.
I do. I got an iPod.
I haven't seen an iPod in a long time.
Oh, that's high tech at my house. I take that on my walk every day.
Oh man, but yeah, you can. It's on any platform. You can download it, buy it, stream it, however you want.
Now, I heard a rumor if anybody downloads it, they have to send $2.22 to Stan. Is that true?
That rumor is not true. Oh man.
2 stands is in chat also.
Yeah. I fell a little behind. As you watch the show, I get behind in the chat.
Hey, we all do.
Do. Talking about getting behind in the chat. Let's talk about a little bit about YouTube versus TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations, by the way. You have 5.37 thousand viewers on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
And 40,000 on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, there's been a lot of discussion in the community, and of course, I'm a lot smaller channel, and a lot of people saying that some of the TikTok viewers don't translate into YouTube viewers. But when we were talking earlier, you were saying that you don't find that to be true. How's that going for you?
The thing about anything that you do, when you're branding yourself, you're gonna be able to convert or cross-platform people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your hardcore audience. Everybody has a hardcore audience that wants to see more of you wherever you're at. They don't care. They want to watch you. They want to see it. So that's what you're really trying to build. People that really like and want to watch and want to tune into you. Everybody has their favorites that they. When a video drops, when you see it hit your phone, you stop what you're doing, or you make sure I'm watching this video. I'm gonna do. So this, do you want to build that? Want to build that hardcore, audience. And I don't really, pay attention to the numbers.
Right.
I just go out and have fun. We go out. If we get subscribers, we get it. Or we, followers, or whatever. I just want to have fun, and I see that it's working, and people are being entertained, and they're liking it. The comments, they're loving everything. So,
but I guess kind of the conversation usually stems around that the TikTok viewers, they like short videos, and they're wondering they may come sub to you, but will they stick around and watch you, for on a long video? And I guess that's kind of where they're saying that you may get them to come sign up, but will they stay?
Yeah. The thing about that is YouTube is also changing in the sense they saw that TikTok was a very big platform and it's growing crazy. And so what did YouTube do to compete with that? They added shorts. So even if your audience is only a 50-second audience or whatever, minute audience, you can still post up short videos for them to tune into and watch. The thing about it is the game is always evolving, it's always changing, and it's better to be ahead of it or be right there with it than to be getting left in the dust. Like with YouTube platform, we are already behind. YouTube peaked 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Now everybody wants to do it. It's very oversaturated, but we love it. I love it. It's my passion. I love being able to create content, create videos, despite it's for 100 people, 500 people, 800 people, 1,000 people. Whoever watched the video, they liked it, they enjoyed it. That's all that matters. So it's just about just trying. And the TikTok is that's an interesting platform over there for sure. It's definitely it's a younger generation, and it's a lot of questions and interaction, but most of it is I live stream. That's what that's my bread and butter. I do videos well and that stuff, but it doesn't pick up on the algorithm or anything, or doesn't blow up or go viral. But I do live stream well and interact with people, so that's what I do. TikTok, see me a lot of times. You see me, I'm live streaming with the TikTok and the YouTube now. I'm using, both platforms and doing both of them at the same time, and just, grinding it out.
Stan says you want to see growth over time. If you look at the numbers every day, it'll drive you crazy. Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
See, Dawn R is in the house, and Fishing for Whiskers is in the house. She's actually out fishing, she said, at the moment. So she wishes everybody well. And good luck to you, Rhonda. Hope you can get on some fish. She's from your general area, Haz.
Yes. Yes, she is.
She's from Maryland.
You got Catfish and Curtis also, Carmel, CBA. And of course, you said my friend Don R just then.
Right. All right, let's take you back a little bit. What is your earliest memory of fishing?
I wanted to get into one question real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Josh asked a good question right there. And he asked, is the money, boom, boom, worth the work involved? And that is a case-by-case, scenario or situation. The way I jumped into it and the way I look at a situation is like the first person who, decided I want to farm and sell Christmas trees. When you first tell your family, like, I'm going to plant a Christmas tree and I'm going to sell it, then they're looking at you like, why would you do that? What are you going to do? Is you're going to have to water this Christmas tree. You're going to have to plant and, take care of this Christmas tree for 8, 9, 10 years before you're actually going to get a return on your investment. So it's just one of those, if it's worth it to you and you put in the time to grow it, water it, and keep the seed going, then yes. But if you're just doing it, it depends on what you're doing it for. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do it as a hobby and, an escape or just want to, create content. But, I definitely put a lot of time and effort into it and hoping that it does turn into something one day. But right now, it's just, it's a hobby. It's a little bit above a hobby because I am making money doing it.
Right. Don't say that too loudly. Uncle Sam's listening.
Uncle Sam, they know, they see it because trust me, YouTube sends them. I don't even know what they call them, but you definitely get them. You definitely get them, so you got to pay. And YouTube don't take any taxes out, guys, so you have to pay taxes on everything at the end of the year too.
Yeah. Well, that was a good question. I'm sorry I missed that one, Uncle Josh.
But yeah, that was a great question, Josh.
Curtis wants to know, do you have private security ready on hand?
Yes, we will have private security at the event, at the meet and greet. Brian will be riding around on his Segway with his little horn, beep beep, and his whistle.
So you better use those crosswalks. Hey, Potomac River Monsters. Smoke is in the house.
Oh, man.
Solo was.
Bob says he feels safe.
And Fishing Local 336, Rico's in the house. Welcome. Haven't seen Rico around a whole lot lately. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And Mr. Duggar, welcome. Okay, so what's your earliest memory of fishing?
So I didn't fish. I remember fishing. We grew up with a lake in our backyard, and me and my brothers, we went out there fishing probably maybe once or twice. Caught some bluegills on some worms, but we didn't really have any interest in it. So it wasn't until I got, into my adulthood when I really started getting into fishing. There was another time when I remember, I would think I was around 24, 25 years old. And I was down on Treasure Island down in Florida, and I ended up renting a boat and I talked to the boat rental place, and they said that there's some tackle shop around the corner where you can rent some fishing gear from. And since I was like, we're on the water, let's just go ahead and fish and see what we can catch. Ended up catching 2 black tip sharks, baby ones. The first one I caught, I was like, man, I'm not getting that hook out of his mouth. Forget that. I cut the line to let that sucker go. The second one, I felt bad that I left the hook in there. I was like, man, I'm gonna try to get this hook out. So I grabbed a rag and covered over his eyes and got, I was able to get the hook out. But outside of that, those 2 times, I didn't fish until, it was right around 30 is when I started fishing. And that was my sergeant, Sergeant Campbell. Shout out to Sergeant Campbell. I would work a lot of overtime on day shift, and he was a day shift sergeant. And me and him, we got close, we got tight, and we would talk in the hallway. A lot of that time, there's a lot of downtime. You get to have a lot of conversations, working with, your officers. And one day, I was, telling him that I want to get into fishing and take the family out and stuff. So one day he comes to work and he hands me, he gifts me, 5 or 6, old fishing rods with line on them and stuff. And so I was like, well, now I have the gear, but what do I do with it? I don't even know what line and what hooks, how to tie the knot. What do you do? Like, so I'm going on YouTube and I'm learning how to do everything. I'm learning what knots to tie, whatever, that's how I learned how to fish, was watching YouTube. And then, so I spent like, the first like 2 months, 3 months, like learning, how to fish and going out. First started off with like, bluegill and panfish and stuff. And then I want to go after some bass. Like I want to catch me a bass, and I started getting into bass fishing, bought my first bait caster. It was a Lose Mach 2 combo. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and got one of those. I still have that one to this day, still my most used one, my favorite one.
Hey, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just give you a heads up, a warning. The community doesn't like it when you say the word bass. They prefer you say green cats.
Green cats or ditch pickles. But so I got into bass fishing, and I started out fishing my lakes, and ponds, from the bank. And I did that for probably about 4 months, 5 months, and I want to say I got good. I got better at it. I was going out catching bass more often and figuring out what lures to work, how to work the lures, the way you work them, what a bite feels like, and all that stuff. And then I bought me a kayak. I was like, I want to get out on the water. It's hard, bank fishing, as a bass fisherman. You want to be able to, you got to move a lot. You have to move a lot to get them bass. So then I got me a kayak and started doing some kayak fishing. And that's when I started my YouTube channel in the midst of all this. Like I was like, all right, I'm really getting into this fishing, and I always want to do a YouTube channel. So why don't I just make a YouTube fishing channel and see, people like it or whatever, and just started from there. Started learning how to fish and documenting my journey along the way. You can go back to the beginning. My videos are still up there when I first started fishing and everything, my whole journey and my progression. But that was around like July. So around the fall, it gets cold, bass fishing slows down. And then, I have a few friends that I met from YouTube, and they're, telling me about catfishing. So I was like, let me go to DC and try my hand and, try to get into this catfishing thing too. So I went out there with chicken liver. That's what, one of the things people say, chicken liver, you always hear that. Let's go try some. Went out there my first time, and I remember putting the chicken liver on the hook and casting it out, and it flew. I was like, I'm looking at Jasmine. I'm like, this stupid chicken, it won't stay on the hook. How do people use this crap? Oh, man. So my first trip wasn't successful. My second or third trip or fourth trip wasn't successful either. I was like, I got skunked like my first 4 times catfish. And then finally, Chunky Cat's Fishing. He was like one of the biggest YouTubers in the area. He does a lot of live stream fishing. I left a comment on one of his videos and was like, Chunky, I'm getting into catfishing, what are some good baits to use? And he commented white perch and eel. So what I do, go to the Asian market, get me some eel and go out there and go fishing. And what do you know? Boom, we catching fish now. I'm like, oh, man, I was loving it, man. After that first fish, it was like probably like a 3 or 4 pound catfish, man. I was hooked. I was going out there in the rain, at like 5 a.m. with the tent up out there at DC, setting up shop and fishing. I loved it. I loved the journey. I loved the experience of it. Just forgetting about everything, forgetting about what's going on at work, forgetting about what's going on at the house, and just the water, and the fish. You know, it's relaxing. You know, I love it. I would not change it for nothing.
Okay. Brad has a question. Aside from your amazing mother, who else do you look to as a positive role model?
Positive role model. Myself. Now I'm just messing around. I look to. So this right here is one of my, like, you know, my guy's mentor, Uncle Lou. I talk to him on the regular. He's definitely been a good positive impact and role model in my life over the last year. I talk to him about, you know, anything and everything, you know, any changes, anything that moves I'm gonna make or stuff like that. I always talk to Uncle Lou and get good advice from him before you know, he's definitely been in the game a long time. He knows a lot, and it's always good to, you know, get the ear of somebody who's experienced and, you know, been around. So Uncle Lou definitely is one of my one person that I look up to and, you know, inspires me on a daily basis. And of course, you know, you have, you know, the legends, you know, Steve Douglas and you know, Chris Flores, who've been at it, you know, for, you know, decade, you know, in the game. You know, that's crazy. You know, a lot of people come into this and then figure out, oh man, this is hard work. I don't want to do it. You know, I just want to go back to fishing, forget the cameras and the batteries and all the memory cards and the GoPros and all that stuff. Keith Robinson, I got to pick his brain at CatCon. He's a very intelligent guy. He knows a lot. He's definitely an inspiration. I love watching his videos. You know, you can learn a lot from people, you know, by looking at their content and their videos that they're putting out, and, you know, what's working and stuff. So definitely Keith Robinson for sure. And of course, you know, the people in the community, you know, the people in the chat, everybody. I pull inspiration from a lot of people, you know, a lot of people.
Michelle fell in love with Keith when we were doing the picking, you know, watching the videos for the Golden Whiskers. And she made it a point. She said, I'm not just going to pick who I know. I'm going to watch every single one of them. And after she had seen Keith's videos, she started a binge watch, and she watched even the ones that had nothing to do with the Golden Whiskers. I think she's seen them all now. So when I walked into CatCon, the very first person that was standing once we got inside the door was him. So he probably thought I was, oh man, can I get my picture? Man, the miss really loves you, and I was telling him all this stuff, and he's probably like, this guy's freak. But I did get my picture from Michelle, so she was happy. I immediately sent it to her, so she was happy.
And you know, of course, Chris from Catfish Clothing, he's been a great guy. You know, he's fun. He's fun to be around. You know, he just loves to fish and have a good time. You know, we definitely vibe. I don't know, I may be getting a little ahead of myself, but I'll save that. I know you have a question down the line. So Chris, of course, you know, the Potomac River, you know, Angus Potomac River crew. TBA, he doesn't really do YouTube much anymore, but he did a lot back then when I was first starting out, the Baltimore area, and he was into catfishing heavy. So I looked up to him, got some pointers from him as well. Mark, the fishing magician, you know, me and him, we started coming up, you know, around the same time. But Mark is a very experienced fisherman. For him to be so young, he's done a lot. You know, he's done the saltwater game, you know, the bass game, the catfish game. You know, he's very, very knowledgeable in the fishing game too. And me and him, you know, we clicked, we linked up, and we were, you know, we put out a lot of videos together. We did a lot of content together. But, you know, and then of course you got Brian, Bex, No Real Laws, Chunky Cats, DMV, Crazy Self. What it do, what it be, what it is.
That's it.
Oh
man. That's kind of, Aaron had the same question. Who is your biggest inspiration now? I'm not sure if he means in the fishing community or in life in general. Do you have somebody outside of fishing, maybe, since you've already listed a lot of people, somebody that you look up to?
My life is, this community, like my friends, my close friends and people that I talk to on a daily basis, they're in this community. So outside of that, nah, I don't have anybody right now, that I talk to, close.
Okay.
Yeah. All my close people are in here, they're in the building.
Excellent. Since we were talking a little bit about CatCon, DuckTales wants to congratulate you on winning Channel of the Year this year at the Golden Whiskers at CatCon.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was insane. That was amazing. It's been sitting right here on my desk. I don't even do anything with it. It just sits right here. But to even be nominated by the people, was because that was like my first year, in the catfish community was last year, and learning and evolving. And that was my first year really. I catfish in the past, but that was a growth year. I learned a lot about fishing and catfishing, and got my first catfish rods last year. So it was all a huge learning experience, and to go through that and put out great content and to be recognized from your peers, as somebody who's doing it good, definitely was big. And then, going up against some big channels that have been doing it for a long time. Right. And I had 5 other categories that I lost before this one, and it was like you hear your name, but I didn't expect to win any of them because I'm going up against channels like Justin Johnson, Catfish, and Keith Robinson and stuff, and but finally got one at the end. Shout out to the guys, shout out to everybody that voted. Appreciate you. I definitely enjoyed it for sure. Had a big smile on my face when Kevin called my name.
Yeah, I was sitting right down front, for the ceremony. So I was there when you walked up. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. That was exciting for sure.
Lance has a question. Do you consider yourself a multi-species fisherman?
Well, no, not anymore. Like, I like to say that. I'll be like, yeah, I fish for multi-species, but I fish for catfish like 97% of the time, and then I go fishing. But I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to, go out and do some more multi-species fishing. It's just hard because I'm just still stuck on the blues right now. I'm still having fun with them. And flatheads are my next to tackle. That's so that's what we're going to be after these next few weeks. Is I'm going after the flathead bite. It hasn't quite turned on yet here, but we're like a week or two away. It may be now with this flood. It may have these flatheads fired up. So we'll see.
Now, do you got to go up river to get those?
Yes, above the dam, upriver, you gotta, climb mountains and rocks, and it's a treacherous track to get to the flathead territory. There's no boat ramps or anything, so it's all bank. I may have somebody told me about a spot I may be able to get my kayak to, but I think it's only gonna work if the river is blown out and flooded, and it may not be fishable. So we'll see. But I would definitely love to get my kayak up there for sure.
Yeah. Uncle Josh wants to know, are you saving him a snakehead skin?
Oh yeah, definitely, Uncle Josh. Me and Dan from Green Machine Outdoors, we're gonna be going up to do some snakehead fishing. And once the blues are gonna get into it, they're gonna spawn. That's when I'm gonna start fishing for other fish. During the blue spawn, I'm just going to leave them alone this year. Last year, I fished throughout the whole spawn. I'm going to leave them alone and go target something else then. And I'll get you your snakehead skin.
I know during the spawn last year, I was really nervous because the bite here absolutely turned off for almost a month. It was brutal. And I wasn't even fishing. I was wishing at that point, and I wasn't catching nothing. I really thought the 365 was in danger. When I can't catch them in June. Going into July, it's like, oh my God, if I can't catch him now, I'm not ever gonna catch him.
Yeah,
but it turned around.
Yeah, that's good.
Stan says he remembers you fishing behind 2.0 with a puffy coat and a beanie hat.
Uncle Lou is in the house. Uncle Lou, we were talking about you, Lou.
Welcome, Uncle Lou.
And you didn't miss it. We're just getting warmed up.
All right. Sorry if I missed any other questions. If I did put them down, we're going to keep rewrite them, and we're going to keep on moving here because we have a lot to go over tonight. All right.
You can't get bucks. You got to get bucks while it's in there.
Which one? I got one of bucks.
William. Has, beside pocket glizzy, what's your favorite food?
All right. Yeah, I missed that.
Chicken for sure. Love me some chicken. But pocket glizzies is hilarious. And when I'm out there from the bank, it's the easiest thing. You know, don't got to take a whole lot of stuff. You just buddy heater and some glizzies wrapped in foil, and you turn on the buddy heater, put the glizzies on top, and then 10 minutes later, you know, flip, and boom, you're done. Oh, pizza too, Brian, for sure.
So I guess that kind of leads into the question: bologna, yay or nay?
Nay. I haven't had bologna in a long time.
What? No bologna?
No bologna. That just takes me back to like my childhood, and like no bologna.
That's where I'm at. I had a lot of bologna as a kid. I grew up in kind of the same circumstances that you were talking about. With a single mom and all that, and I had a lot more bologna than I cared to remember.
Like I would still eat it, but it's not something like I haven't had since I've been, you know, grocery shopping for myself. I have never bought bologna.
You know, and I love tuna fish, but to this day I will not eat tuna casserole. I refuse. Let's see what else we got going on up in here. I think that's a side conversation. Okay. You have a boat and a kayak and a bank fisherman. Tell me how that. What do you think of the advantages of each of those?
Well, the advantages of the bank fishing are the live streaming. The show's just better from the bank. You know, you could the views better. You know, the live streams are better and they're funnier, especially in DC. You never know who's gonna walk up on you and who's gonna be, you know, add to the show. So you know, I can't get away from the bank. I would never leave the bank. I will always fish the bank. Because it's just better for live streaming. And we have the Potomac River is is a great bank fishing river. And the kayak is my favorite way to fish. Like that's my ultimate favorite way to go out there and pick apart my waters and catch the fish. I'm lethal in that thing. I love it. That trolling motor is a game changer with the spot lock and all that stuff. These kayaks have come a long way. A lot of people, when you say kayak, they think like, you know, it's one of those little skinny, you know, narrow. You know, these kayaks are almost John boats now on the water, personal John boats on the water. And they're expensive too. You know, they definitely have a big price tag when you're talking about these top of the line fishing vessels, but you don't have to break out another 1,000 every time you want to get the boat out. And you know, that's where we're at with the boat is you know, it's always something to fix. There's always something to do. You know, to get the boat out is a hassle and it's going to break your wallet. So that's why I haven't been, you know, messing with the boat. I got the kayak and we've been out there fishing. But I will be getting the boat back out there next week. I will be I have a date set for the boat to go fix the trailer and all that stuff. And I will be filming it and recording and making a video out of it because that was like one of the most voted on content. People want to see me you know, bring the boat back to life and get it back out on water. So I will be making a video of that.
All right.
It'll be a series most likely because it's probably going to be a multi parts to it.
Dan's talking about Aquadan.
Yeah.
Literally standing on the side of his new canoe kayak, super stable.
Yeah, that new canoe is a beast. It's a beast.
I just have my concerns. Dan is a lot smaller than I am.
Yeah, as well me. If I stand on the side of it, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't tried to stand on the side of mine, and I won't try to start to. I won't try to do it. But I can stand up in it, and I have, and I do.
Yeah.
I stood up in it and was wearing a 53-pound blue cat in that sucker.
Yeah. Well, I think if I can pull something up here. I don't know if this will work. I hope it will. I want to show you something here.
All right.
And see if I want to see your reaction to it.
Put him over there. He was supposed to go out there. Oh, take the thing off the screen. Take it off the screen. That thing. The right. I've seen it. I've seen it go by. You see it? You try to get up here. I've seen that thing, man. That was crazy. Oh, son. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
All right.
So this right here was, let's put it in a context. This was the Do You Has What It Takes. The very first episode when Brian B wanted to call me out, man. He thought he has what it takes. And the river was like, it was blown out that day. There was, trees and debris flowing down river. That was the same day I caught that 53-pounder too. That was my previous kayak PB. But later on in the stream, I look to the right and I see this snake coming at me, swimming at me. And I'm like, man, this joke ain't. And then I'm like, I'm trying to jab him with the, my paddle to get him away. And like, this is like, we'll call this the, hold on, let me make sure. This is the side of my kayak. I saw the snake coming up the side of my kayak, trying to get over the top of it. And, I'm like hitting his head down so he don't come. He almost got in. He was almost in. I hit him down. That's when I stood up when I saw him almost in. I was like, oh no, I'm standing up. Get this joke up out of here. And then I finally got him to turn and go away. And he was retreating. Yeah. But then he was like, nah, I ain't done. I'm coming back. And when he came back, I timed that smack and hit him on the top of his head. And wow. He floated. He ain't move after that. He floated down river, was gone.
Wow. You have any idea what kind it was?
I have no idea. I'm not a snake guy. I don't know. It was just all black. I do know we have, copperheads and water moccasins on the Potomac. So when I see a snake, that joke is lethal. I ain't messing with it. He got to go.
Yeah, I'm not big on the snakes. We have them down here. We have a lot of copperheads. We have the water moccasins, and they tend to be the more aggressive. The copperhead will go about his business, and those are pretty recognizable because of their pattern.
Yeah.
But if it was just a darker color, and the fact that it was that aggressive, if it was just a banded water snake, he would have moved away when you slapped at him the first time.
Yeah.
So sound like you got very lucky.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, because if he got in the boat, I was getting out the boat.
I say that too, and that's kind of my theory. But he can swim a lot faster than me.
That is true. That is true.
So at least if you get bit in the boat and you get him out of the boat, somebody might find you. You jump in and he bites you. They might not find you for a while.
Yeah, you got it there. You're definitely right about that.
Richard Montaigne in the house, and I just saw Laura the Explorer. Welcome, Laura Ann. Says, well past her bedtime, but wanted to pop in. Well, pop. Thank you, Laura. So what other experiences have you had funny things have happened to you while you've been out fishing?
Oh, man. It's hard to keep track of them. Just from the one spot, that me and that Brian B was just at. Just that spot alone has like 5 different funny moments that's happened there. The first one, of course, is when Palmetto comes to DC to fish with all of us. He stayed up there. Him and Anna came up here that for I think like a few days, 4 or 5 days. And Palmetto did his Happy Gilmore cast and sent the tip of Chunky's ride into the river. That was hilarious. That was definitely, I don't know. That moment was definitely top 3, top 4. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna have a top 10 moments of my lives.
Like a bloopers,
top 10 bloopers, top 10 funny moments. We're gonna do it. We have so much content now, we have to do it. So you have that. After that, what did you have? Of course you had the Fairweather Friend and the Glizzy Pocket, that live stream. You had the time me and Brian and Richard, we caught that 333-pound boat that broke off the dock and swam into our lines. And then you got Brian B, the security man, when the crackhead rolled up on us last week. And before that, this may have been before all of it, there was this one drunk guy who came up wanting to take a picture with the catfish, and he started rubbing on the catfish, and that's what we called and said he was molesting the catfish. I got to go back and find out what live that's in because I never went back and watched that replay. I got to figure out which one that was. TJ and the bird, yep. TJ backlashed and broke off the lead and it went flying. And then like a minute later, you heard this bird just squealing and crying. So then the joke was that TJ hit the bird in the chat. That was the same spot too. So many moments from that spot. And then you have the bloopers of I fell, Ernie fell in the Glizzy Masters.
Yeah.
Chris from Catfish Clothing, he fell. He took a tumble on my live, so a lot of funny moments.
Now, just go back to the snake incident for a minute. There is a short on Haz's page if anybody wants to go back and see that a little clearer. It's kind of hard to see on phone to phone here, but the short was called "When Snakes Attack."
Yep, when snakes attack.
Now, since we're talking shorts, there's also another one that I saw. Maybe you could expound upon. It's called "This Is Why You Don't Bet."
Oh,
remember that one?
Yes, I do. That was when I battled Chunky, and the "Do Has What It Takes." And leading up to that, I was pretty confident in my section of the river. But this was also my first year out there fishing it and fishing in the kayak. And up to that point, it had been on fire for like a month and a half, 2 months. I was catching consistently, 20s, 30s, and 40s, every night and a lot of fish. But that bite started to slow down, and I didn't know that this was going to be that night when I went out there to battle Chunky. And Chunky was on fire over there by the bridge where he was at. He was on fire catching fish after fish after fish. I still end up catching like 14 fish or 13 or 14 fish. But yeah, we had put the hair on the line. It was still funny though. We had fun with it. They shaved my head live at Haynes Point. Yeah. Brian B got involved in it too. It was a good time. It was fun. It was fun for sure.
Chunky had his son there. That was funny. That was a funny video.
So I had to take a picture from my work, and this was the time when I was bald headed. So this is the picture I have to be reminded of every single day. When I didn't have no hair on my head. Oh man! So
have you learned your lesson about bets, or are you still open to suggestions?
Oh no, you can ask Jody. Jody tried to get me to bet. Even back before she was winning all the bets, I said, "Nope, Jody, I ain't messing with you."
Well, that's where I was going with that. Have you ever accepted a bet from Jody?
No.
That's what I was going to tell you. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Jody, I don't think Jody can get anybody now. We'll see. Maybe somebody new will join.
Just pork chop. Pork chop keeps coming back for more.
Oh
I
yeah.
know.
Oh man, pork chop ain't never gonna learn. I want to know when Jody and Aaron rematch is gonna be.
I don't know. Me and Tom actually supposed to have a match and never did it.
Yeah.
We may have
we
to
weren't
do
gonna bet
one v
nothing.
one v one. Have three of us all against each other. How about that?
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun to put Tom and Aaron against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be. That would be.
I ain't jumping in a lake though. I'm 58 years old.
No, you ain't have to do that.
My body's breaking down. I can't be doing no polar plunge.
I wish we had some kind of bet.
I'll bet you a breakfast sandwich.
I'll take it.
So have you ever had to eat any bait?
No,
Did you ever accept like the J
I'm
Dog
not doing
challenge?
that. I will
No.
never accept that. And I remember when Palmetto and Chunky came when he came to DC. Remember when they linked up and they did live, they ate worms,
Right, the give back tournament. Is that the
they
give
ate
back
worms.
tournament?
No, together they did. Well, Chunky did it at the give back tournament first. And then they did a live together at in DC at the bank. And they both ate a worm that day. And I knew me and Kevin were going to meet up later on in the week. And when I started off the stream, I said, guys, don't do any super chat bets for no eating the worms because I'm not doing it. I don't care what the amount you pay. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not eating no bait. I'm not eating no worms. Only bait I'll eat is a glizzy.
Yeah. No chicken?
Chicken, of course, chicken. Absolutely. Not no strawberry jello chicken, though.
Is chicken bait to you?
Not, I mean, it works, but I don't, it's not something that I have with me. Rarely. Yeah. Like when it's spawn time, I go out there with chicken.
Yeah.
When it's spawning and the bite gets rough and tough, then I just start throwing weird stuff out there like chicken and other things like that. But this year, I'm just gonna leave them alone.
You know, we've had times in primarily in the wintertime, in what little experience I have, but when chicken was the only thing we could get bit on, we had shad or bluegills, and chicken was the thing. You know.
Now
so I'm not a chicken denier.
Yeah, neither am I. When I'm fishing in a tournament, I'm gonna have some chicken out there, you know, and then but of course I'm gonna go through my baits first and see. But chicken definitely works, and it's anywhere. I took chicken to the James River, and we were catching, you know, tons of catfish on it on the James River too.
Yeah,
it's anywhere and everywhere you can catch fish on chicken.
I think Miss Michelle's weighing in on us betting on her breakfast sandwiches, Jody.
Yep. I've seen that.
That's a win-win right there. Loser has to eat a breakfast sandwich.
No, loser doesn't get a breakfast sandwich.
Oh, loser doesn't get one.
Loser loses their breakfast.
So the winner gets two.
Three. Count Aaron.
Oh, three of them. Ooh.
Avid's in the house. Welcome, Avid. Bugman wants to know, does anyone have the link to the snake fit? Yeah, Bugman, I don't know. I mentioned it. It's it's one of his shorts. It's called When Snakes Attack.
Yeah.
It's on his page.
When Snakes Attack.
And I hear Miss Michelle from the other room saying she just posted it.
And Brian just posted it.
And Brian just posted it. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Miss Michelle and Brian. Let's see. See people saying hi to 252. Welcome, 252.
Mm-hmm. He's been catching flatheads.
Really?
Nice.
Finley River Thames.
He's kind of close to me, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he fishes Roanoke Rapids Lake, if I'm not mistaken, which is below Gaston. Because I've seen him with Skin and Scales, if I'm not mistaken. And I know they were doing some videos down there, which is the smaller lake below Gaston. So Stan, I can't believe Tom would be willing to risk the absolute best sandwich in the world. Let's see what else we got. Finley River Kennels, welcome.
Yeah.
G Style, I think I've seen you in a couple. Welcome. He wants to know, dealing with all types of hooks and knots, what works best for you?
I mean, hooks, you know, I've gone through, you know, I start off with Gamakatsu. Those are really great hooks. But no, they're too big for HazLife. I'll never get sponsorship from Gamakatsu, you know. So I've gone through Catfish Sumo Hangry hooks and they're good too as well. Nocturnal hooks I love their pig stickers. It was a Mr. Kitty Whiskers sent me some around the holidays. I think there was a giveaway. And I've been using those lately, and they're a different type of style hook. Matter of fact, let me get one. I'll bring it to you. Show you it. But for my kind of fishing, it is perfect. Man, let me get the bigger one so you can see. Where is it at? There we go. So they call them pig stickers. And when Mr. Kitty Wicker sent it to me, I was looking at it. I was like, man, this is a vicious looking hook. It's almost like a cross between a circle and a J hook. Let me see if you guys can see that.
A little closer. I love hooks. Yep.
So it has you know the circle, but instead of it being you know, instead of it coming back in, you know, like a circle hook, it still sticks out. It has a very, very, very sharp point on it. So like kind of like a kale hook in a sense, where you know it still works as a circle hook, and you can still set the hook too as well if you want to. Which, you know, I love setting the hook, and when I'm out there bank fishing and giving them the hook, you know, for that extra added effect. You know, these things right here are nice. Yeah, Nocturnal Nation makes some pig stickers.
I haven't tried them, but I'm intrigued by the little plastic.
Yeah, and you know,
the shank.
Yeah, you know, we love the snell hooks. And I use a no knot snell, and you know, they will sometimes slip. But once you know you get that pressure on it, it's only going to pull the knot tighter. It's not going to loosen up. But this just helps with the snell and the slipping on it. So, you know, that they add that sleeve on there too as well. So that I like that too.
And I think also it might have possibly help in keeping your bait from turning in.
Yeah.
You know, so the bait won't turn into itself, because once it hits that plastic, it should stop it.
Yeah.
I would hope, anyways. I see that as an advantage, but I haven't tried them.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely Nocturnal Nation.
All right.
And you know, no knot snell. And then any other knot, that's to the hook, and any other knot I use a polymer knot.
Right. Yep. Palomar knot is the best knot in bass fishing.
Yeah, that's where I learned it from. Bass fishing, doing polymer knots, and I've even you know, catfishing, you break off, you know, your line a lot. So I use the double uni knot, you know, because you tie those a lot in bass fishing too, to go from your main line to your leader line. And I use that instead of re-spooling my whole line. I just, you know, did a double uni. I didn't like it though, because every time I heard that double uni go through the eyes, I was like, no, I'm just gonna re-spool the whole thing.
Right.
But I tried it out though. I gave it a try for a few week or so.
Cool. Looks like Mr. Duggar has a question. What is the most satisfying part of fishing? Get your crank turning has.
That takedown. That takedown.
Yeah. Sing a couple bars.
Takedown. When you see that rod bend over and you know it's a big one. Well, actually, you know what? the line peeling, that really gets me going. When you know you got to go, because you know even a little fish can take a ride down. You know, a 5-pound fish, especially in the springtime, summertime, them blues are fired up. So I would have to say when it's peeling, that drag is ripping, you know you got a good fish on it. So I'd have to say that between those two, that's the most exciting part of fishing right there.
Excellent. Avid just said Cause needs 40 more to hit 300. Let's help Cause. That would be great if anybody could sign on. Cause has a great show on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. She's focusing on dealing with teaching kids and people that aren't familiar with fishing how to fish. And Stan is her co-host. It'd be great if you could check her out. Let's see. Oh, I was really down in the chat. Francis Fishing Outdoors in the house. And Duggar says, the tug is the drug. Absolutely. All right. What else we got? You're talking about some of your bloopers. Would the flying GoPro go on that list?
Yeah. The flying GoPro definitely makes it on the list. That was a devastating moment right there. I had caught, the worst part was, I caught my new PB in the kayak. I caught a 55-pound blue cat. And the only picture of me holding the fish was on that GoPro, and it's lost forever.
Oh, no.
It's lost forever. So I only have, just my chest cam and anything I got on my iPhone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happens when you're just doing too much. Because I started I was live streaming on the kayak, and with the TikTok, the phone goes this way, so I brung it in closer to me. And I had a little window to cast through, and I hit my dang GoPro, which I've done before, but I guess I didn't hit the lock button on it, so it went flying out into the water. Yeah, because the mount that I have, it locks into place, so it can't fly out. But now I have a lanyard on it too, just in case the lock fails. It still won't go flying. So
yeah. Well, that's a shame you couldn't retrieve it. You probably heard Aaron dropped his phone off the dock, and the night that he dropped it, the water was high and running and very muddy. And we tried like heck with the net to get it. We figured the phone was a loss, but at least he could turn it in towards the new one. Yeah. And we couldn't find it. 2 weeks later, the water dropped and cleared, and we could see it laying there. He dried it out, and he turned that phone on, and it still worked.
It still worked? Wow.
Still worked. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's hope to anybody out there. If you drop it, if you drop something in the water, maybe it might help you. But he had already bought a new phone by then, so yeah. I think he gave it to his nephew. But there's hope out there if you do drop one and you can retrieve it. So I think Josh Dunnigan did that. He dropped a waypoint where he dropped his and was able to go back and retrieve it. Yeah. And it was the same model phone, believe it or not, as Aaron's.
I doubt it's there with it being a tidal river, but it may wash up somewhere someday. Some may find that GoPro.
Yeah.
If they ever find that, just give me the memory card. That's all I want.
Johnny Small Pepper's in the house. Welcome, Johnny.
Chat.
Fossil Creek, and then Finley is in here also.
Okay, great. Let's see. Tell us about the picture in the thumbnail for tonight's show.
So that was a trip to the James River last month. Me and Ernie, and it was supposed to be Brian, but Brian ended up calling out of the fishing trip. He called out sick. No, he had to go into work that day. But yeah, too bad for him. I was more fish for us. We weren't playing. So yeah, we went down to the James River and fished with Chris on his barge, on his lavish boat. Yeah. It was a overnight trip. We went out there Friday night. You know, I brought the glizzies and the burgers, brought the grill. We grilled out there on the boat and caught a few fish and, you know, fished all night long and woke up the next morning and went up river, moved to another spot and it was a very, very, very windy day, windy weekend, you know. The temperatures, it was still chilly. It was in the like 40s that night too, and we slept out on the water in the boat. But he had a full enclosure with the buddy and everything. So we go to a spot and we anchor up. The tide is coming in, so we got the boat facing upriver. You know, the nose of the boat facing downriver, we're facing up off the back. Cast the rods out. And literally, we were on fish like within like the first like 10 minutes. Ernie's rods going off. Ernie was like, from the beginning, he was like, Haz, you want to do like you do the left and I do the right side? I was like, yeah, we could do that, you know. So anything went off the right side of the boat, Ernie had. Anything went off the left side of the boat, I had. And this rod was going off, and he picks it up, and this thing is ripping. It's going way to the left. It's ripping drag. We're like, nah, that ain't no blue cat. That's something else over there, man. Ernie fighting this fish in. It's ripping, peeling, dragging. He can't stop it. Finally, we get it in, and it's like a 35-pound striper. I ain't never seen a rockfish that big before. You know, I see them on pictures all the time of people catching rockfish that big, but yeah, that thing was huge. That thing was crazy. And then while he's still dealing with that fish, another rod goes down. It's on the right side of the boat, but he's over there taking pictures and all that stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna just grab this fish. So I grabbed that fish, and it was like a, you know, fighting. It's like a 25-pound blue cat that we was on from there. Like I think we caught like another like 2 or 3 fish. Then the wind picks up, and that's when, you know, the wind starts blowing against the current and starts to swing the boat downriver. Now we're about to do like a, you know, a half circle, do a whole 180, and the boat's just gonna go downriver. And I'm looking at the lines and I'm looking at the bank, and I'm like, yo, we are swinging crazy. And I'm like, hey, Chris, should we reel these rods up? He's like, nah, just leave it. We'll see what happens. You know, Chris be real nonchalant with it. You know, he's been on the water. He's done so many tournament, you know, fishing, and you know, he like when the boat's doing all the swaying and all the stuff. He's like, I don't care. You know, the fish don't mind it. You know, they'll still bite. So we leave it. You know, then we're like all the way, you know, facing downriver now at this point. I'm looking at the rods, and then I'm like, nah, we gotta start reeling these up. They're gonna get tangled up in the anchor line now. So I reel in the first rod. It's stuck on the anchor line. Reeling the second rod, that's stuck on the anchor line. I'm like, well, these 2 rods are stuck, so I'll wait till I can go in front and wait till we pull anchor to bring them up. Then I look back and I see this rod, you know, it's twitching, it's bending. I'm like, man, I think there's a fish on there. But while we were dealing with all the chaos, a fish had like took it down like a minute before, and we didn't see it because we're dealing with the boat swinging and all the chaos and everything. So I go reel down on it. Boom, there's a fish on. And I'm like, oh man, got a fish on over here. So I got the fish was ended up being on the front left side of the boat, and I'm on the back right side of the boat. And so I had to walk on Chris's little thin gunnel to get to the other side, and you know, it's wet and slippery. I'm holding onto the top rail with one arm. I got the rod in the other arm. I'm trying not to slip off. It's like 2-inch thing can go right to the water. Ernie's like, Haz, you better not fall, as he has his GoPro just in case I do. Trying to get a blooper of the year. So I make it around to the front, and you know, I got the fish on. I'm like, oh man, it's a decent fish. It's not that good though. And then boom, I'm like, oh no, it's good. It's real good. And then I finally see the fish, and I'm like, I go ecstatic. You know, it was a big fat fish. We get it in, and it ended up being about 57 pounds. So it was the second biggest fish I've ever caught. We thought it was bigger. I thought it was my new PB because the belly on him. But it wasn't a long fish. It was just a big fat fish. But it was a fun fight, and it was a fun story the way we caught it. And I was like, any other guy we're out on the boat with, they would have been pulled up lines. We would have never caught that fish. But because we just let it swing and the bait just drag and boom, right into the fish's mouth it went.
Now, is there video of that whole fight or?
Yeah. Yep. There's a video on my channel.
Okay.
It's the over, I think it's 16 hours fishing. Is the name of the video, I believe.
Cool. We had a question here. First off, I think the question's already been answered, but Daniel Morgan, welcome. That's a new name to the channel, or at least for me, I believe. So welcome. But he wanted to know, are eels native to the Potomac River? And the answer is yes. And do we know anybody that ships the frozen eel for bait? I think Stan was talking to him about that in the chat.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure. I love fresh bait, you know. I got a bunch of frozen eel in this cooler right here behind me in this deep freezer, but I always go buy another eel because I like that fresh blood, that fresh. I mean, frozen will still work, but fresh is best.
You know, down here at Gaston and Kurt, you know, they one of the bait shops sells them, and we've tried them a few times. I mean, we haven't put a whole lot of work into it, but we catch some more on other baits than we hardly ever get anything on the eel, to the point where we stop buying them.
Yeah.
And now they are in our waters because we've caught a couple off the dock. My son caught a couple about 2 feet long. But yeah, we haven't really got into them the way you guys do up there.
Yeah. The eel population is so plentiful on the Potomac, and it works so well. And it stays on the hook forever. So it's like, for live streaming, you don't even have to worry about checking your rods after it gets a takedown and misses. The people come in there, like, especially on like TikTok, like, check the rod, it doesn't have any bait on. I'm like, yes, it does. We're good. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of bait on that hook still. That stays on forever and ever. When you do finally, at the end of the night, when you're ready to take it off, you got to twist back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah,
and then
right.
Get it off. Yeah.
Daniel asked where at. I think he's asking me that. I live on Lake Gaston, and we also fish Kerr Lake, which is about 3 hours south of D.C., where Haz is at. And Quiet Man wants to know, do you plan on taking the family on the boat with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I'm going to get the boat up, make sure it's running good, get it out on the water myself first, and then I'll take the family out. I had them out there last year on it. I had my brother and Jasmine and baby boy out there on it. He's just so hyped, man. He just be running around doing so much. I have to make the boat like completely kid proof, so I gotta make sure I get the wires off. Cause you know how boats are. They got wires underneath the steering wheel, wires, and make sure he don't yank a wire out, and then we can't start the boat up. Like, man, where did that wire go? I don't know.
Right. Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think they're still talking about eels. Anthony Duckworth in the house. Welcome. So you mentioned your brother. Is he going to be making any more appearances on the channel this year?
Absolutely. When he can, you know, he works Monday through Friday, but that's why you see me fishing in the rain a lot. And every time I'm out there fishing in the rain, my brother is usually out there with me because he works. He's supervisor for a road crew. So when it's raining, they can't do any like paving. Okay. So
right.
That's why he gets off and we're able to go out fishing. So anytime, if it's during the week, if it's raining, he'll be out there with me. Otherwise, we'll be out there on the weekend.
Excellent. Cockeyed said that I just reached 400.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations.
And can I say that Jody just went over 900?
Oh, the home stretch.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're almost there. I know you got the watch hours. You probably got plenty of them.
11,000.
Yeah, good to go.
That's a lot. Let's see what else we got here. All right. There's questions there. Most of okay. Let's talk. What other YouTubers have you besides the DC guys? Who have you fished with? Well-known YouTubers in the community.
Mike Chavez. I got to go out. That was my first ever trip to the James River. Got invited out and got to fish with Mike Chavez. Me and Mark. We drove down there. The Fisherman mission, which yeah, that you tell he's young when you get in the car with him and he's speed racer, doing all that young stuff, trying to get there fast. Oh man, but yeah, we had a fun trip. We didn't catch any catfish that trip, but I learned a lot. Mike Chavez, he's been doing YouTube for a long time. He has his fishing and cooking channel. Great guy, great personality. Got to pick his brain. Shout out to him and Sharon. Sharon, hope for speedy recovery, get her back on her feet. I'm gonna miss them too at the meet and greet. They came to last year's meet and greet, and Sharon had a great time with the baby boy, walking him around and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike Chavez, we had a great time together. I fished with Dana and John Parker. They got to come up here. I went and picked them up from the mall, and we went fishing together. Of course, Two Stands and Dan, of course, and Palmetto, fish with Palmetto here in DC, and I also got to fish with him in is he awake? Oh, come here. You give him to me. And I got to go fish with him in South Carolina too as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. Come here, baby boy.
My favorite part, the baby.
The baby. Y'all get to see the baby.
Hi, baby.
Yeah, we had fun down there in South Carolina. Got to fish with the Fish Snatcher too in North Carolina. That was on the same trip. Got to go fish with him on the Snatcher Lake, he calls it. He's been busy working in the editing a movie. He's like got some job. He's doing some stuff for a movie company. So he's been super busy with that.
Yeah, I wonder where he had been.
Yeah. So he hasn't been out fishing or nothing. It's like, man, you better get out on that water. I know the water's warm enough for you down there in North Carolina.
It's that Michelle was saying she can't wait for Mike and Sharon to come back.
I know.
They came and we had a great trip. I felt so bad. Everybody. That I'd love to see people catch fish when they come here, and primarily we're a spot for blue cats, and Mike caught 9 channel cats. I don't think he caught a blue, but we had a great time, and he graciously, he said that, hey, I don't get to catch channel cats, so this is kind of cool. And at the time, he broke the dock record. He caught a 7-pounder. So they really don't get that big here. And he was ecstatic, and he got it on film and everything, and he was real happy about it.
Those channel cats are mean. They put up a fight.
Yep.
They definitely put up a fight.
We had made arrangements to have him come and stay with us and do a collaboration with Michelle cooking, and then unfortunately Ma had her accident, so it got put off. So we're hoping for the best there. That certainly for her, but hopefully that they'll get to come back at some point and share some time with us, because Mike is a heck of a guy.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. I miss them in chat. Sharon and Mike Chavez. Yeah. Definitely miss for sure.
Yep. See, Tinkerbell's in the house. So is there any of the people in the general or anybody in the country that you want to go fish with?
Yeah, well, of course I want to come down to the dock. I want to fish with the 1-tonners. I believe Art is coming to the meet and greet, so we may be able to make that happen. And I'm coming down there to see you guys too. Cool. I know you said the spawn is in June, so
Yeah, June into the beginning of July.
July. So maybe it'll come down in August.
Yeah,
Maybe come down in August.
cool.
Definitely got to come down there for sure. Definitely want to go out west. To go fish with Mark and his channel cat canals and link up with Chris Flores
Yeah.
to do fishing for some flatheads for sure. So I'll be able to knock 2 out with one stone on that trip. And so I need to come to the Tennessee River. So much great angles on the Tennessee River. I definitely want to come down there and fish the Tennessee River for sure. The plan was to come down next month for Catapalooza, but that has since been canceled. So gotta figure out something. Maybe we'll still come down there anyways and just fish the Tennessee River.
You come this weekend, meet and greet.
I know. I wish I could. I wish I could.
Well, why don't you talk a little bit about your meet and greet a little bit more in depth?
So yeah, we have our meet and greet at the Tidal Basin in DC. We don't have, we don't have any like campground areas, of course, in the DC area, but it's a very popular park, and I don't know how many miles of bank space, but it's over 5 miles of bank space. It's great, for families. It's great for, you're able to grill there, you're able to cook and stuff. One of the few places you are able to do that in DC. So that's why we chose that location. We got a bunch of people coming out. Of course, you're gonna have the whole Potomac River, anglers, which the list just keeps on growing, like month by month. Add another Potomac River angler to the list. But it's great. Everybody's gonna bring a dish, bring some food. We're gonna be grilling a whole lot of food. I'm probably gonna be on the grill for probably about 4 or 5 hours. I already know. I'm trying to have a sign up list and have multiple people out there grilling. Trying to get the grilling done early so I don't have to be cooking the whole time. Just put them on sternos and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna be eating. We're gonna be fishing. Having people bring old fishing rods or just go to Walmart and get a combo or something, and that way if any kids that come out that don't have any fishing gear or if family can't afford to get them something, they can walk away with the fishing rod and get into fishing.
That's great.
And then bug the parents and to get them out the house, because the kids can be like, I want to go fishing, I want to go fishing. So get the family outside. That's what we want to do. Get outside. Everybody's been cooped up with COVID and all that stuff. Get outside and go fishing. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have some fun for sure. So we had one last year, and it was a great turnout. We only planned it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and had over 50 people come. So I don't know what the number is going to be this year. I'm not even going to try to tally it up. I know it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. Michelle, can you share out Skull Rush's link?
I got it.
Okay, thank you. So you know any of the names of anybody coming from out of town?
Yes. Like I said, I know Art from One Ton is coming. You're gonna have 2 stands, and then coming up, you're gonna have a lot of fishing TV. Him and his wife, they're gonna be
cool.
They're gonna be coming back to DC. I got to meet them. That was another one I got to fish with. They came here in January, and we did a video together, and that was fun. You're gonna have Susquehanna Stan, him and his wife. They're gonna be coming. So it's gonna be fun, exciting. You're gonna have Dana and John Parker. They're coming up. So yeah, a lot of YouTubers are gonna be there, and there's gonna be a lot of subscribers are gonna be coming too as well. Yep. Fishing for Whiskers, 80 Bitty will be there for sure. Yep.
Excellent.
Definitely. Yeah, I know I'm leaving out people. It's a list of people, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm a definite maybe at this point. I'm gonna try like heck to get up there.
Okay, I believe Mr. Kitty Whiskers, he said he's gonna be coming too as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
And I may try to bring Miss Michelle with me if she'll.
That would be awesome. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
She don't do much for the fishing, but if there's cooking going on and good
Yeah.
conversation, she likes that.
It's gonna be a whole bunch of food to eat, a whole bunch of food. And you know, it's all right there. You know, you got a bunch of rides gonna be out. Last year we had probably like a mile of rides just up and down the bank. Everybody was fishing. It's fun. And of course the kids are gonna be out having fun.
Yeah. Was there any memorable fish caught last year?
I think the biggest was like 10 pounds, 12 pounds. The fish wasn't on fire last year, but people were still catching them periodically. I think we even did like whoever caught the biggest fish, they won a $50 gift card. Somebody sponsored that. Yeah, so that was just fun, you know.
Yeah. Now, who is the DC angler still around? He used to do those tournaments down at
DC Metro. Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah, DC Metro. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I haven't seen much from him come out lately.
Yeah, he's still putting out content on YouTube. Okay. The tournaments, he's not really doing the tournaments as much anymore. I know he was trying to move it to the online, the Fishing Chaos app, and just make it a DC tournament only. But I don't know. I know they did it one time, but I don't know. I guess he's probably just getting out of the tournament scene.
Well, if you ever, I give you a hint for a spot. If you ever bring your kayak up to Haynes Point, I don't know where you could put in over there, but one day I was fishing in a bass tournament up there, and we had pulled up under the bridge to get out of the heat so that we could eat our lunch, and there was this old couple in a rowboat.
Yeah.
And they were sitting right off the end of the restaurant dock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they were dropping baits down and probably counting to 3 and setting the hook. And they were bringing in 20s and 30s continually. They couldn't take them off fast enough. And I was like, man, why is the fishing so good there?
Yeah.
And then I saw it. The guy from the restaurant comes out with a big bucket of fish they had cleaned and threw it in the water right where they were. Yeah, and then their rods went nuts.
See, right across from Haynes Point is the wharf, and you know it's a seafood market, and they're always throwing stuff in there. But you can't. There is a place.
I hadn't thought of that.
There is a place I can put my kayak in at, but I can only do it at high tide. And if I'm out there too long, you know, it's gonna tide's gonna drop, and I ain't gonna be able to get out. So I'm like, I ain't messing with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I was amazed. I was like, we just sat there. It's like, oh my God, look at that. I mean, they didn't even. As soon as their rods hit the bottom, they were reeling them back up, and there were these big, huge cats on it. Yeah. One right after another. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So I actually my last question was going to be, when are you coming to the dock? But we've already discussed that. You know, we want to see somebody come down with a kayak or a boat and fish the ledge that we throw out to and see what can be done out there in that deeper water.
Yeah.
We've only been out in a boat out in our lake off the dock once, and we got ran off the water with a thunderstorm. But I had on a soul stealer, so to speak. Within, you know, it was right up at the 85 bridge, which you can be seen from the dock. It's not all that far away.
Yeah.
So I have to see that spot where I lost that fish. That he took me under the boat and he ran to the other side of the boat, and we were double anchored in the current, so we couldn't get an anchor up fast enough to swing the boat around to let him get out. And he was still rip and drag when he went underneath the boat, and until he finally rubbed it against the boat long enough that he broke me off. But
dang,
I always wanted to see what could be caught out there with guys that can get out further than we can throw.
When I come down to the dock, I'm definitely gonna bring the kayak on the trailer for sure. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, and you can launch right next to the dock is our community ramp. So
okay,
I mean you can launch right here next to the dock.
Yeah, I'll launch over there, and I'll just get to film a video. You know, I always like to double dip. I like to do live streams and videos and you know, all
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's a nice smooth
we
ramp.
definitely
You
want
have
you to
no
do that.
trouble.
It's a nice smooth ramp. Yeah, I saw Jody. It just went straight on in.
Yep. All right. So Stan says that there's a PSA: do not let John Parker touch your rods.
Yeah, John Parker. Last time he touched my rods, I ain't catch a fish for like a month. So John Parker is not. Brian is going to be on security. He's going to be monitoring my rods. He knows John Parker's not allowed within 100 feet of my rods. I told John, I said, you're going to have your own special rods to use.
Yeah. Well, you need to probably close off the area where the grills are too. You don't want him getting too close. Any combustibles near the open flame.
Definitely don't want him close to the open flames for sure. Oh, Haynes Point gonna go up in flames.
And I see Yak Shore's in the house. Welcome, Yak Shore. So is he fishing with you tomorrow night, Charity?
I don't think he is tomorrow night. Kelly King is in the house, and Chunky just come in.
Okay.
But I've got
welcome.
Man, Chunky had a fire night out there. He caught 2 fish over 50 pounds today. 2 fish over 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
In shallow water in the cove. You know, when the rivers get flooded, these fish get pushed back up into the coves and the back creeks, and the big fish go chase them. You know, they got to eat, so they're going to go find them.
Yeah.
He caught some big fish out there.
That goes back to my bass basics. You know, when the water floods, the fish go to the bank. And when it starts to drop, they pull out to the first drop-off.
Yep.
All right. If anybody has any more questions, there's John right there.
Yep.
There you go.
They
Welcome, John.
She's gonna get
fingerprints with the rod sock on.
He just left another comment, said, "Me and them Hellcats got a date, ass."
You know,
John, we were talking about you earlier. We start. Go ahead, Judy.
Now you can go on.
I was just going to say, we were mentioning John. We saw his video on his new camper. Congratulations.
Yeah. With him being able to spend more time on the water now, hopefully he can get on some more fish. Because, John Parker can't fish worth a lick.
And I hear he's going to be a professional eel fisherman.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing good at that. I've seen.
He can trap some eel.
Yeah.
John Parker can trap some eel. He'll make a lot of money off the Potomac, too.
That's what I said. Maybe if for the meet and greet, he could bring up some eel and sell it to the guys.
Yeah.
Cheaper than what you guys are paying up there.
Oh, yeah.
How much is an eel going for now?
I've seen them $9.99 to like $21.99 a pound, depending on what market you go to. Where I go to, $16.99 a pound. And usually I'm getting like
now down here.
And usually I'm getting like a pound and a half eel.
Wow.
They're pretty big.
Yeah. Down here at Kerr, they don't sell them by the pound. They sell them by the eel. And I think they're like $4.25 a piece. And they're only about 18 inches. They're not really, really large, but
yeah.
I think that they were 4.25 last time that we bought them.
I'm going to share out Danny Stone. He started a new show on, I think it's Saturday nights, where he brings up a panel of fishing with friends. And I just saw where Skull said he may be fishing it with Steve.
Okay, excellent.
And then I think Two Stands is starting one on, I'm not sure if it's Sunday mornings, where he's going to have a panel up fishing.
Sunday mornings. Yeah. With Stan 3 being a new father again, and the baby, him not always being able to get out there. That way he can still have his stand days, and people can go out there and go fishing and have a place to go. Somebody to host it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think was it 9 to 12? I think Stan was going to do.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 9 to 12. 9 to 12. So you guys can jump in, jump out. You know, I'll be out there.
Yeah.
Sundays are like my family time, so I'll definitely be in and out. In and out for sure.
I'll tell you who's on my show tomorrow night. It'll be me, Catfish and Curtis, Danny Stone, Trophy Seeker Outdoors and Muskrat Adventures, Hooks and Hammocks, Avid Fisherman, No BS Catfishing, Team Snag and Whiskers, and Catfish Biking, and then 2 stanza host.
You got the full lineup tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. And just in case somebody backs out and you ask me again, we're expecting rain again tomorrow night. Every Thursday night, Jody says, "Hey, I had somebody drop out. You want to fish?" And it's pouring here. Every Thursday night.
Yeah. I always ask
Actually,
you
it looks like. Yeah, I appreciate it. And it looks like it's going to rain all weekend. Aaron might not even come down. They're talking for 80% chance of heavy rain all Friday night. So I may not get out and fish at all the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm. I was going to take Yaks shore with me tomorrow night, but he has to work. But I think me and him and his wife's going to go fishing this weekend out on the pontoon.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
He might bring his little baby with him. So
cool.
That'd be fun.
So are you going to go live during anything other than during the tournament while you're out down at the meet and greet?
We might. It just depends on what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
He may be videoing or something, but
right.
I think Kenneth's want me to take him and his daughter out one night.
Cool.
So it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to go. So.
Right. Now when's that end? Saturday night or Sunday night?
Saturday night, I think. I'm coming home Sunday.
Okay. You make sure you get plenty of rest.
Yeah, I will.
Don't be burning the midnight oil all weekend and then.
No. Yeah. And I'd like to thank Chunky for sharing me out tonight, because he's the one who got me over 900.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think he got me like 20 subs, so I appreciate that.
Sweet. Skull Rush says, Jody, if Steve Adams is fishing Saturday night, we will be live on Danny Stone.
Yep.
All right. Anybody have anything else? There's a question for me, Abbott. How far is the drop off from the dock? It's about 70 yards, maybe. It's doable, but to get out, that just gets you to the ledge. Then there's a couple hundred yards to get to the other side. It's an old river channel, and it's wide, so we're just barely dropping off into it, and that's been working for us. But without getting bigger rods and bigger reels and heavier gear, we're not getting out into that. And I'd like to see it with a graph, be able to graph it and see what's out there.
Yeah.
So I know there's muscle beds.
Well, I said with average 16-footers, he'll be out there bombing them things.
But I know on the edge of the mussel bed, or on the edge of the ledge, there's mussels all along it, because God knows, like every fish that we bring in when we're trying to get the hook out of him, he's pooping shells out on the deck. So we know what they're eating out there, which may be why the chicken works.
Yeah. Catfish eat some strange stuff. The chicken definitely works for sure.
I saw a picture, and it's been a long time ago, but of a catfish that had his mouth was open. He had tried to swallow a basketball that was floating on the water, and he couldn't shut his mouth, and he couldn't get it out. And somebody had taken it out. Somebody found him, and he was still alive, and they were able to get it out. But it was lodged in his mouth, and he couldn't shut it.
Wow.
It was a flathead, by the way. Yeah.
Oh man.
So, they'll eat whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Jacob Hajin in the house. Welcome. I think if anybody doesn't have any more questions, we're going to let Haz go. We appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I had a great show. Awesome questions. Awesome panel. Chat did great. 2 hours, it didn't even feel like it. That's what's crazy. Didn't even
Right?
feel
Yeah.
like
I was
show.
shocked when I saw that. We still have 38 people hanging on. Jody, do you have anything?
Yeah, Outdoors Addiction. He just come in, so hello to him.
Oh, hey, Jesse.
Appreciate you coming on, Haz. Had a great time. Learned a lot about you. Seems like I know you better now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always interesting just to hear people's stories
Mm-hmm.
and about their life, And I appreciate you sharing it with us.
Absolutely.
And everybody in chat, appreciate John's here. I think Don had a question back here somewhere.
Oh yeah, I see. Ice fishing. Do I have any ice fishing plans? No. I don't. I tolerate the cold because I have to, and I gotta go out fishing. But not unless it's like the red carpet ice fishing with the whole tent set up. The enclosure and the buddy heater and somebody who's experienced and knows what they're doing. And because I'm a big guy and walking out on the ice and all that stuff, that's dangerous. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. But definitely wouldn't be anywhere here. It would be somewhere way up north where it does get, cold enough to walk out on the ice.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. Growing up, I grew up in Massachusetts, outside of Boston, and we would go up to northern New Hampshire to my grandfather's house, and we would see people out on the ice in the wintertime and driving their cars out there and stuff, and dragging these big old boxes out there to stay warm. They had heaters, they had a stove in them and everything else.
Yeah.
And, I said I can't imagine that. Although I don't know if you watched any of that Ice Road Truckers show. I was amazed by them.
I know 18-wheelers. Now there is one type of ice. I have seen them where they have like these campers with holes in the floors, and you sit inside the camper. You could be eating, the TV on, YouTube playing, and you're just jigging a pole up and down, or waiting for something. Now that I could do.
Right. There was something that, in closing, I guess that I guess we should know, and I won't ask you to do it because obviously your son is sleeping. But tell us the story behind Sweeeeet Doggie.
Okay, so
we can't end without that.
I do need to run back this clip of the first time I ever said "sweet doggy." I was out kayak fishing for bass, and I had caught like a decent sized bass. I think it was probably like a 2-pound bass, and I yelled "sweet doggy" as I was reeling it in, as I got it in the net, and when I went back to edit it, like I didn't know that I said it when I was out there doing it, but it's funny when you go back and edit and you're listening to yourself talking these clips and stuff. Like I just was laughing so hard when I said it. Jasmine heard it and she's like, "Who are you? What is this sweet dog? What do you say?" She started laughing. So it was just something that was hilarious, and I was like, "Yo, I'm just gonna, we're just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna say it every time we catch a big fish," and then it just kind of stuck. And every time I caught a big catfish, and I just started yelling out "sweet dog," and it's funny because like people who I yell "sweet dog," and I'm holding up like this big 30-40 pound catfish, and they're like, "That's a cat," and they don't understand it, or they don't know, and then you got people that just love it, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I love it. And everybody, you got to have like your catchphrase. You got to have what makes you different than everybody else. So it just stuck from there. But yeah, I'll go find the clip and I'll make a short out of it or something. The birth of the sweet doggy.
There you go. Yeah. I want to show you. Just switch the screen here for a second, just to show you something. This is what I had my coffee in this morning to get ready for the show.
Awesome.
And I'll have before we left CatCon, when you were packing up, I got the last shirt that was on your table, and it was a 2X. And I thought, that'll probably, some of these shirts run a little large.
Yeah.
Well, it appears that I'm a 2.5X. So it bordered on obscene when I put it on. So now that I'm working on having a better lifestyle, I'm hoping that by the end of the summer it'll fit me.
You'll be able to get into it. That's
Yeah.
good. Like, you know, I wear, you know, a 2X, you know, norm, you know, but
Yeah.
like now I'm walking around in a 3X, you know, comfortably, regularly. You
Yeah,
know, but I still get in my 2X, but I need to get back into a 1X. That's what I need to do. We need to go back
Yeah,
to
yeah. Yeah, my doctor would love to hear that I was in a 1X, but
yeah.
baby steps. I'll take the 2X
Yeah,
first.
baby steps. Yeah, baby steps.
So, all right. Well, I don't see any other questions. James Kirkpatrick said, "Great show." Stan, big shout out to Haz. I'm amazed at how much he has learned in such a short time. I'm honored to call him my bro.
Appreciate you too, Stance. I see Avid. Do I have any? Yes, I do have plans to fish the Mississippi River. To get up with Epic and Sean and go out and fish the Mississippi River later on in the year. That's in the works. So he told me when the donkey season is, I'm coming during the donkey season. We're gonna throw big donkey baits out. I'm hoping we're able to make that trip come true. He said, Haz, I'm gonna call you. It's gonna be like a 2-week window to get here and get on these fish. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. me and Brian gonna book a flight and we're gonna be on our way.
Wow. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, man. Sean and Tim, you know, they are some fun guys to be around for sure, man. I had fun with them at CatCon. And to go out there on the Mississippi and catch some, man, they were catching one anchor in the live stream. They put like 3 fish over 80 pounds in the boat. I was like, that is insane. You know, that is crazy.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be included in a little bit of the after hours stuff at CatCon with Tim. Tim and Sean on the last night. So that was great. I don't know if you remember, I actually bought one of Tim's flathead props, the big one. I bought that and brought it home.
Oh, yeah. Those are really good. Tim is really good woodworker, man.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we had him on a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him next year, I need him to do a blue for me so I can have a matching set.
Yeah. A flathead in the blue. Yep. You're good to go.
My Tim Wall art. So, all right. Well, we're going to let you go. And again, we appreciate having you, and we had a really great time. And good luck on the meet and greet. Hopefully, I will see you there. And I got to get up with Art, see what his plans are, just in case Michelle can't make it. And we'll see what we can do. But thank you once again, and good luck to you out on the water, and stay safe.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Jody, Tom, chat. Had a good time.
So keep them snakes out of the boat.
Absolutely.
Jody, anything?
Nope, just ready to go.
All righty. Well, good luck to you all night, Jody. And you be safe out there as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll be watching from the couch. Mm-hmm. All right. Good night, everybody. Haz, hold on when we close.
Good night, everybody. Had a good
night,
time.
everybody. Thank you. See you all next Wednesday night. Bye now.